What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's gonna be another duck video, and in this duck video I'm gonna go over everything that you should know before you even think about owning ducks. I have 3 pet ducks at the moment, and I've had them for about 3 months now, and there's just a couple of things that I wish I knew before I had them. And I'm also gonna go over just the basics of owning ducks in general. The first thing that I wish I would have known is that they are social animals. They're flock animals, so you have to keep more than 1. I would even recommend having more than 2. Right now I have 3. I think that's the minimum flock size that you should have. But of course, to get more, the more happier they are. This is just because they feel more secure in groups. They are a prey animal, so it's just natural for them to be in groups. The second thing that I'm gonna go over is their housing. This is where I kind of wish I would have known how they are, is them having to be free roaming. It's only natural for ducks to have like a large area to roam and be free in. So if you don't have that, or you don't have like a decent sized backyard, I wouldn't even think of owning ducks. Not only that, but they do need a coop. I feel like my coop is a little big because you just really need something that it can stay secure in during the night so no predators can get to them. And then you just let them out during the day, you know, in their free roaming space. That should be a good size. I feel like my backyard isn't as big as what they need, but I think that having a bigger space is better for ducks, just so they could live a good life. They like to forage, they like to roam, so having a big backyard or a big space where they can roam is a necessity. So number 3 is their ducks. So they need to have access to water. That's something that I have struggled with. I'm trying to convince Anthony to let me build a pond in the backyard, but he's not for it. So I have to compromise. I do have a little tub inside their coop, so they could always have access to water that they could get into. But besides that, I also have like a water bowl that they can drink from. They have clean water all the time because they do poop in their water, and I'm gonna go over how messy they are later. But they do always poop in their water, so it's never clean. So I wouldn't like for them to drink that water, even though they probably still do, but having a clean source of water for them to drink specifically. But I do have that tub inside of their coop, and then I like to give them like splash pad time. I bought them a splash pad, or I just bought a separate little plastic pool that they get to swim in. If you can't have a pond, there's other alternatives, but having a pond or like a natural body of water, of course, is gonna be way better than just a tiny little plastic pool. But you do have to have a water source for them. If not at all times, have their like bath time or like their swimming time, a specific time during the day where they go out and swim. All right, so let's talk about diet. Ducks lay eggs. Any animal that lay eggs, you have to have a good protein, calcium diet for them in order for them to lay good, strong eggs. But not only that, their bodies naturally make eggs. Well, the girl ducks anyway. So you're just gonna have to feed them something good. They are monthly layers, so that's why they always have to have that good source of food. So a good 20 to 30% duck water fowl food is good. This is the one that I feed to them. They do really good eating that type of food, and they really do enjoy it. I would recommend getting a self-feeder because ducks have to eat 3 times a day. So I just leave it out there and they eat whenever they want, and I don't have to worry about feeding them 3 times a day. That's more than my dogs eat. So they do eat a lot. Talking about them eating a lot, they also poop a lot. And that's not just because they eat a lot. It's just because their systems are so short and so fast at breaking down things. Cool, not cool. Terrible thing about ducks, that they poop every 15 minutes. They can't control their bladder. You cannot potty train them. It's impossible. They just go when they go. Not only do they go when they go, but they go so often. So that takes me back to them having a large space. My backyard isn't the biggest, but it's also not the smallest, and I'm constantly cleaning that mess up. I cannot go a day without cleaning their coop, especially if I want it super clean. It doesn't have to be super clean. I mean, it's really easy to pick up because their poop doesn't really dry up. It's always like a watery consistency. So it's really easy to just spray down. I could probably get away with 2 or 3 days not cleaning their coop. It will look bad, but it's super easy to clean up. But that's what they say, is like they're just super messy ducks in that way. When it comes to water and food, I don't know if it's just my ducks, I really doubt it, but I find them not to be that messy. Maybe it's because of the type of feeder I have. It's like a no mess feeder, so I don't really see any problems with food messes. Water messes I can see, because with their bowl they do dunk their heads and they like fling it around, and you know, so if you have dirt they could probably get it really messy and it's gonna be muddy everywhere. But I wouldn't even recommend dirt in the first place. I'd probably recommend like pebbles or grass. So try doing that and they won't be as messy. But when it comes to ducks being messy, it's because they poop so much. It's so hard to be on top of it. Talking about foraging, if you have plants or a garden, they're going to destroy your garden. They could be quite destructive when it comes to just plants in general, because that's basically what foraging is. They just go and eat all the plants, they'll eat your grass, they'll eat anything. They'll eat bugs also. So they could be good and bad because they could get rid of all your pests in your garden, but they will also eat your garden. So I would recommend raised beds if you do have garden, because they can't really get to it. They're not great jumpers. I don't even think they could jump, but they will eat all your pests. So that's a good thing. Noise! Ducks are super loud. Well, especially the girl ducks. I don't know what girl ducks are named. I am so sorry, I probably should have looked that up. I'll look it up right now. And that's one way you can distinguish their sexing. You can sex them that way, because girl ducks are more loud. They have more of that honk to them that you would think ducks make. Boy ducks have like more of a squeaky kind of honk to them. And I'll try to put videos, of course, how they sound. Boy ducks are way more quieter or literally silent, but girl ducks are so loud. Whenever they need something, I will know they need something. But the good thing about it though is they won't really honk if they don't need anything. If they have water, if they have food, if they can roam around and be happy, they will hardly make a noise. This was probably the first thing that I should have went over, but legal restrictions on where you can own ducks. Usually ducks aren't allowed within city limits. I would do your research on like specific parts of where you live, but most of the time they're gonna be more out of the city where ducks are allowed. I don't know why that is. Most likely it's because you just don't have enough space for them and it's just not good for you to own ducks. So if you, I would just do your research on that. Quick Google search. Does my city allow ducks? That takes me to the type of ducks. There's so many type of ducks. There's flightless ducks, there's flight ducks, there's runner ducks, there's heavy ducks, there's smaller ducks. There's just so many different type of ducks. And yes, some do fly. Most domesticated ones don't, because they're bred to be heavier, so they don't fly away from their farm. But nowadays a lot of people do own more like rare type of ducks that you find in the wild, so those might be able to fly away. You might need like an aviary for them. So it just depends on the type of duck also that you want. Specifically, I'm talking about pecking ducks. They're like the most beginner type of duck, or the larger beginner type of duck, because they are kind of big, but they do not fly away. They cannot fly, they can hardly even jump, but they are heavy set. They're bigger and more fat. Quick fact, pecking ducks are known to be used for food. I didn't find that out until I bought them, which I got very sad about. But I will not be eating my ducks. So the last thing I want to go over is their lifespan. Pecking ducks in general are the ducks that I have, and they live roughly from 6 to 10 years. I know that most ducks roughly have that lifespan to them, but the general thing is that's kind of a long time, especially for a bird, because like in contrary to quail only live no more than 2 years. So ducks do have a long lifespan. So I'd consider that as well. It's a long-term commitment. I'm reading here that due to their size and weight, they might have shorter or longer lifespans. Yeah, so it does say that smaller ducks tend to live longer than larger ones. So the smaller the duck, the longer they live. The larger the duck, the shorter they live. But it's crazy because Peking ducks is more of a larger, heavy duck breed. So 10 years is still a long time for a big duck. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, learned a little something about owning ducks. Or if you had any questions about ducks, you learned them in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in any more duck videos, please let me know. But I do have some already on my channel if you want to look at them. There are these two right here if you're interested. I think you'll very much like them. But besides that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!